Hey, so here we are, guys. Hey, coming at you guys at 20:03 on the 26th of December, 2024. The last couple of days of this year. I'm here with Gator and Fitz, talking Iron Fury, the run up for it. For a reminder, guys, Iron Fury is happening 17, 18, 19, January 2025 at Hibernia State Park in North Carolina. It is a part of the Carr Lake Recreational Area. We got an entire state park. Uh, First guys ever to use this AO. It'll be a definitely Third Coast exclusive. Um, Gentlemen, thoughts on Fury?
I'm excited. This is going to be a whole new way of fighting for a lot of people.
Yeah.
No more urban area, all woods, mainly woods, with some buildings in there.
Yeah. Let's jump in real quick and let's play some. Let's play the trailer to it. Yeah, me and Coach were talking last time. I might have been watching Pirates of the Caribbean when I did the trailer. So. So we'll bring the map up because you guys hit on some great stuff in terms of we'll put the Hibernia player map. Hey, special thanks to Craig White for doing the map, the official game map. It'll go out with the op order here tomorrow in the morning. Can't say it enough that the player support we got, the support staff getting in there and doing the official map. This is a 100 meter by 100 meter. So yeah, the AO is 1,700 by 1,500. It's a huge AO. But okay, so AO change, right? You look at Crossbones, Bone Crusher versus Guardian Center, where we were just at, versus GTI. Can we, thoughts on how this AO compares to those three?
Oh, this is completely different. This is night and day, especially with the longer rounds for this. The players are going to realize there's not going to be much dwell time. They're going to be busy getting to the locations they need to be at to accomplish their mission. There's going to be a lot more going on than trying to seize a bunch of buildings.
Yeah. Key terrain in this case isn't a building or an intersection. Let's see who else wants to dive in right now. Snick. Let's get Snick in here.
Ooh.
Snick, welcome to Third Coast Live. He's like, huh? What? Yeah, we put Snick in here. We'll see if he chimes in. Okay, so you've got. There he is.
Hey, Daddy-O.
Hey, man. Merry Christmas. Hey, hope all your reindeer parked where they're supposed to park. So he's trying to work on his sound. But in this case, we're talking about intersections, being an actual real terrain, not just a big 3-story building in an intersection. Was it Route Astros in this case? Is an MSR per se, but it's not really taking you anywhere that's going to help you win the fight. Taking a look at where the two alphas are, it's very different for players what these alphas are going to be versus how it relates to the fight. The two drop zones in this case are key terrain. Fitz, you being an airborne infantryman, you know the value of a good airborne drop zone. How do you think that's going to factor in this battle, in this AO?
Well, again, it's going to take them, in their drop. There's going to be a lot of communication needed, and they got to organize real quickly and move out of there, because airborne drop zones are great for landing, but they're not great to hang out at. It's one big kill zone most of the time. So you got to get your shit and get out quick.
Yeah, or you're defending a drop zone, which, Snick can't hear anything. Oh no. So could be on your end, Snick. We can't hear you either. So, okay, so the coastline, we've got the airborne action, right? We know that the first battle is going to involve both sides landing troops in the drop zones. Okay. Shane, coastal operations, man. Like, what are your thoughts, man? Coming in over the beach.
Don't stop. Keep pushing forward. Think about it back in D-Day when they were landing on the beach. They told them to not stop, keep moving forward. Same aspect here. They might be a defensive line trying to pin you down. Don't stop. You're just gonna sit there and keep getting shot at.
So on the beach landing point of view, that's if you're landing on the beach. I'm thinking from the point of view, if I was Eastern or Western, I've got to contend with somebody that potentially could land behind me.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You know,
You got, saw that. Same thing at D-Day. They landed behind enemy lines and pushed backwards to help their guys move forward. Definitely watch both ways. Have a reserve.
And then you have technicals. Obviously, first question we had when we launched the Warno for this op, are there going to be technicals? The answer is yes. Are there going to be a lot of technicals? And there's going to be 6 versus 6. That's the limit. However, the terrain, it used to be, well, we're not in the town yet. I don't have to worry about anti-armor. Fitz lost. You don't have to worry about anti-armor until you're in a built-up area. Now you're coming through and you got wood lines to your left and right. You're going to have to work more closely with your infantry, your dismounts, to clear the woods a little bit. So that's going to be a challenge.
Communication is definitely going to be a big thing here, especially with a big area like this.
Yeah. That's going to be crucial. We'll come back when we get the other two guys back in here. Let's talk. Well, I've got you in here. This is a good one. We'll take this map off and we'll replace it with something that's near and dear to your heart. The part of the thing you're going to be a part of. Okay, let's talk the special operations. That's a big piece. You're going to be very much part of this. Can't say what your role is because, I don't want to ruin it for the guys that are going to be down there. But you have SOF and commandos working in AO South, the unconventional warfare zone. Just those two elements working with their guerrilla forces. How's that going to work? Sal, why are you keeping them separate from the main battle? Well, because we want those guys to do what special forces do. Meet with insurgents, build up their capacity, and then help them win their unconventional fight. And then on Sunday, depending on who wins, gives the conventional force the ability to start forces down there in Kazaville. That's a big deal, man. So, what are your thoughts on this piece?
I would say use your assets. We saw at Crossbones, a little hint. They weren't really using the assets as they should have. We tried to explain as best as we could, but I think after about the last couple hours of the phase that each side had us, they started to realize what they could have done. And hopefully they learned from it and they bring it to this event. Who knows? Something
Well,
spicy might happen.
so you went to Centurion. So you
I
saw
did.
the resistance fighters in Centurion.
did.
That's a big one.
Yep.
The ability to use the guerrilla forces accordingly. You know, let's see if Snick's back in. Can you hear us, Snick?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
All
I heard you
right.
too.
All right. Fitz is here now, too. All right. So, get Fitz in here. There's Fitz. All right. So, while we're waiting for you guys to work through your technical difficulties, we're talking about the unconventional warfare fight. You know, Snick, you're a veteran of the Centurion experience. What do you think about the unconventional warfare aspect of Fury? What are the players like? If you had to tell the players something sweet and short about this experience for the Commandos and 13th Soft, what would it be, man?
To expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how else subtly to put that, man. I think that would probably sum it all up, man, because 90% of your airsoft experience is what you expect. So, I mean, if I had to dive into it and give advice about, what they were going to expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
It ain't all about this. It's going to be about this.
Yeah. We were just talking about Centurion, our experiences in a Centurion scenario. Definitely much more thinking versus trigger pulling.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Fitz is getting his Starlink back up. But in that aspect, man, I think what I would tell the guys in 13th Soft and Commandos is it's not airsoft.
No.
Put yourself like you're really there.
You would have to.
Yeah, play it like it's real. I think the 13th Soft guys and the Commandos are going to really get one hell of a different experience, and I think they're going to enjoy themselves.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they're expecting to just go in hot, they're probably going to have a shitty time.
Yeah, and I think most of the guys look at the names of folks who bought tickets for both special units. I think they're ready for this. I think they're motivated for it. We'll come back. We haven't talked about assault pack living. I want to make sure Fitz was back on before we went into that topic.
Yeah,
but
that's going to be important.
Yeah, we'll definitely hit that one up once I know Fitz is solid on his connection.
Now, live just with us, right?
No, it's all of us. We're all here. We're live.
No, I mean, we're not going across the net or nothing.
Oh yeah, man, we're full on, man.
We're live.
We're live. The people's.
See the live thing right above Sal's head?
Yeah.
Well, I see that. It's covering his big old noggin.
Oh. So let me pull up the other map because I really want. Let's see. Craig White did us a solid. He did the official game map. That really doesn't help. You have walked the AO. You're the only one on the staff that has actually seen this AO. We were talking about the differences between Crossbones, Viking, Starburst, Bone Crusher versus Fury. What is how do you compare these AOs, man?
Between each other, there is no comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fighting landmass. You're fighting over buildings and everything. Like, how do you? I mean, yeah, no, it's not condensed in street warfare where there's multiple levels, multiple buildings. You're not running through the streets of the Guardian Center or the buildings of GTI. You're actually you got to use this to move around. I mean, there are buildings there. Don't get me wrong, but
Yep.
you're just like any conventional fight, man. I mean, eventually the city's turned into rubble, boys. and you're going to be fighting in the trees. Ask the Ukraine. They're very much well aware of that. You know, it ain't just going to be a building to building fight. You're going to have to get out and get dirty and find those natural depressions and those valleys and those and you know the runoff drains and you know flank and maneuver. It ain't just going to be down and overwatch through city streets.
So we talked about the what is key terrain here, like the drop zones. I put up a Hollywood map on the screen, kind of labeling key areas, and some of these areas are labeled on the game map as well. Not every single one, but the majority of them are on there. Obviously, if you're a freedom fighter in the resistance or you're supporting the resistance fighters, Castleville is a big one for you. You know, if you're out east with the main forces, the drop zones, the old Capitol, the government house, Ray Point, the old Hibernia airfield. So the terrain, there's no comparison. I agree with you, man. There's no comparison between what we've done before and this area.
No, it's very, very unique.
Yeah. Yeah, unique is definitely the word I was searching for, man. It just kind of let's talk about in terms of uniqueness. Here's the con op for the tier 1. Now myself and Coach, we talked about this one in the previous TCA live, but I mean it's an amphibious landing. It's a raid.
Yeah.
You know, so we got boats, man. So yeah, I think this one is going to be definitely an experience in Airsoft that has not been done before.
And probably not on this scale, for sure.
No, definitely not on this scale.
The capabilities of moving an entire platoon-sized element from one side to the other, or even you know skipping over from one beach to another beach to give you a tactical advancement, man. Like it's not done on this scale. Well, not to my knowledge, it hasn't been done on this scale.
And Mr. Recon says this looks amazing. Yep, I agree, man. Good evening, Ken. Ken says hello.
Hello.
Hey, Arthur.
So, yeah, without a doubt, this tier 1 is definitely going to be unique. Not one to miss. We still have tier 1 tickets available. Let me see. Someone's Kukui's trying to get in. Let's see if we can get Kukui in there.
You know, it's really unique about the beach landing too. You know, even D-Day wasn't done at night.
That's right. That's a good point. Both commanders for the main fight are having to decide: do they pull an Operation Chromite? Do they pull an Incheon landing, or a operation like Anzio? You know, how do they pull this off, or how do they avoid creating an Anzio by landing troops and getting stuck in a damn beachhead? So both commanders have to weigh this tactical risk. So yeah, man, I think landing forces is going to be interesting. I think we got enough good people here to talk about the assault pack life. First round 5 hours, second round 4.5 hours. You're leaving the camping / parking area as a player and you're heading out into operations. What immediately do you think of when we say assault pack living?
Ammo.
Okay.
Food.
Ammo, food, stackage.
Yeah.
Okay. Water. Hey, water. Something that most airsofters will forget because it doesn't blend with their impressionist look.
Hydrate or die.
You know, yeah, hydrate or die, man. You know, you mean I got to pack water? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big one. What else?
I mean, electrolytes. I mean, yeah. You might probably want to change of socks. You know, those are your tires. Yeah, no, you run flat, man, bro. You ain't going no damn where, especially out there.
So, salt pack living, man. Fitz, right in time to talk about that assault pack life.
Oh yeah, it's loads of fun.
What are you thinking of? Because you're going to be you're going to be out there with the staff, man. I mean, we're going to be living out of assault packs.
Yeah.
What is going in your assault pack? First thing.
Honestly, it's going to be, considering we don't know what the full weather report is yet because a little far out, but it's going to be dependent on weather. Cold weather gear that I can easily shed and throw into my pack. Along with a Camelback, I'm going to have canteens, extra water. Food-wise, it's got to be something small, portable, high amount of calories, kind of like break down an MRE or two, depending,
Yeah.
Just basic stuff like that. But you got to keep it all very simple because you don't have a lot of room.
No.
So change of socks, simple stuff like that. Keep you warm and dry and moving.
So taking a look at, you mentioned looking at the forecast. Me and Snick have been watching that intensely.
Yeah, it almost looks like we're going to get a heat wave.
Yeah. And I know a lot of players are kind of like basing off of like, well, if I come to the event, what do I do with this? Like the forecast going out right now is it's a warming trend going out to mid-month January. So I mean, look at the forecast out to the 9th. I would say it's probably not any colder than it was, at Viking. And Viking was a very, very beautiful weekend. So
yeah.
So from the airsofter perspective, BBs, batteries, speed loader, HPA management. We are going to get them back there if they need to run back and get, hey, I need to refill my HPA. Yeah, got it. We'll make sure that happens. Obviously you can't not be in a fight if you don't have if your tank's empty. So we'll make sure that HPA fills happen. So assault pack life. What it doesn't mean you're humping the kitchen sink on your back. You're not humping your camping equipment. It's a fighting load, a sustainment. That's really what it is. We had players messaging asking about, I mean, does it mean I got to like hump my sleep system in? No.
Not even.
Yeah.
Not iron
Not unless you're going to fight from it. I mean, if you can bring it if you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to get in it and fight from it, by all means, man, bring it.
You figure real world, I mean, assault pack missions were 24 to 48 hours, and you took the bare minimum what you needed that was going to keep you alive, and that's what you carried. And most of it that you took out with you brought back because you don't leave a trail.
Right.
So you got to plan accordingly.
Which, going back to that whole in the pre-show, we were talking about, you said it, we were trained to fight in terrain like this before the GWAT, the great GWAT. And then somewhere along the way, us veterans, our mission changed is where it became all urban. Yeah. Surprise, we're replicating that in Airsoft.
There you go.
How about
that? Are we bringing a little more mill to the sim?
Yeah. You figure when we left Rag and went to Kuwait to wait for the invasion to start of Iraq, we actually went out to an island out there. It's called Falaka Island. In the Gulf. Remember it? That's where we got a crash course hardcore on how to clear buildings, because we had the basics, but we were so focused on open terrain that, we never did that much on buildings. But it wasn't until we went there and we had, some special ops guys and other people come in and gave us a lot of classes. And that's where we started really building up our knowledge. And then, of course, in combat, we learned the realities from there. But, it was a huge, big switch on the fly that we had to learn. So it's going to be the same thing for these guys here. And they may think, well, this kind of sucks. Well, we did it in reality. And I'll tell you what, it was a hard thing to kind of retrain yourself. But, man, you push yourself fast or, live or die. So,
yeah. Forged in fire.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, for the commanders out there, Sal, haven't gotten a air tasking order or a fires matrix. Well, that's because there isn't one. You're not going to get. When you do get it, it's going to be, hey, you've got two F-16s overhead for the next 30 minutes. They're carrying 2 JDAMs. You're not. It's going to be push cast. It's going to be pushed to you. Tagging may surprise us and give us some mortar support. With a 400-meter max range, that mortar system is going to be out there supporting one side or the other, at different times. That means calling for fire becomes real. More mill to the sim, as Snick has constantly said. More mill to the sim. I'm like, yes. We talked about terrain. I think it was 2 years ago. 22 was the year that airsofters realized they had to land nav. We saw that. We saw that at Bone Crusher, particularly during the Tier 1. Like, hey man, using a map and GPS, it's a skill, man. It really is.
It is.
In the pre-show, we talked about land navigation, terrain knowledge. Where's the enemy? He's in the trees. He's, where are you at? I'm in the wood line. Dude, that doesn't help. I recommend an app called TacNav. Great app, phenomenal app, especially if you really don't care to, network with other people. You just want to know where you're at on the field. You can still message. Snick found a cool way of sending me photos tied to the TacNav. So you can always use ATAC, ITAC, or Ares Alpha. That one's cool too. There is cell phone coverage for the most part.
I was about to say, number one rule in land combat: electronics will fail.
Yes. So at least always knowing where you're at on a map helps. But knowledge of the terrain, knowing where you're at, where you're supposed to get to. Communication. Another thing we're talking about in the pre-show. The staff is getting better radios. Just making sure that your radio as a player works. That's a big one.
Yeah, moving through this terrain, you're going to have to communicate. Your units need to know where each other are, what's going on, because you're going to get people way off target, or they're just going to friendly fire each other, or a million things to go on. But communication is going to be huge in this operation.
Yeah, another thing that one of the players noticed on the map, and it came from the chat line here. Hold on. We'll answer that one. Please tell me if this will become a regular TCA event now. Snick, tell us the story there, brother.
Well, I guess that would be player depending. Hibernia is really just the start of where we want to take this. Next year, our projection is 2 more campgrounds, and whoever maintains Hibernia stays at Hibernia. But we have other state parks that we can utilize, and you'll have a green island, you'll have a tan island, and you'll have a non-conventional island. And how you get between each park / island will be later on we'll come up with that solution later. More than likely, we'll probably have helos involved, and we'll have more boats involved. So it will be a complete insertion. You're going to be attacking a foreign land. So multiple AOs are coming in the future with this one. And I'm guessing it would be player depending. So
Yeah.
you guys jump on board, check this game out, and it's only going to progress. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get bigger and much bigger. And it's on the players, man, on how far we want to take this. So yes, it can be a regular scheduled program. And I can't wait to see where it's going to go.
So imagine next year being able to incorporate air assault operations in this, along with the water crossing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think we were nibbling on we're just nibbling on the tip of the iceberg. One side is gonna, how do I know if we won or lost? Well, simple. If you got completely pushed off the island on Sunday, you lost. If you manage to keep a toehold, one faction or the other manages to actually say, screw it, I want to hold this part of the island. Well, that's the part that you're going to have next year. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be a big one. Okay, unit integrity. We found out before that unit integrity is it's kind of a lost art sometimes. So, oh, Snake.
What unit you with, guy? Hey, I don't know. Look at your wristband.
It's on the wrist. Now, guys in Baker, Baker Company, Battle Company, those guys are probably Rich Cudahy keeps a pretty good tight knit core group. Easy Company, again, Easy does it. There's always guys who flock to Easy Company. SOF and Commandos, well, you guys are going to be playing out west. You won't even be around until Sunday morning. Airborne, I think this will be the op that makes the Airborne. Royal Rifles, they're definitely got a good core group in there. Fight Company's got a good core group. Chaos, Papa, Dead End Outfitters is coming up to run Chaos Company. He established himself at Bone Crusher or Crossbones. So we got a couple of units that need some work, for sure. But this event, I think, is going to be one that you're going to want to stay with the unit you're in, big time. So
it's going to matter.
Yeah, it's going to matter.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Nutrition,
So,
battle nutrition.
We're going to find out every piece on the board is very important, and they have to accomplish their objectives. This one's going to be big on that.
So, in addition to unit integrity, every unit has a med bag. Shane, I know you brief it with me every time we do safety briefs. The med bag rules kind of just fly over some people's heads. We're slowly seeing people, especially the Texans, really focused on the use of the med bag, and slowly out back east, Grizzly Company, she came back from Starburst Grizzly 6 and said, them boys in Texas know how to use a med bag. And that lesson went quickly learned. Both sides have realized the value of the med bags. That unit integrity, man. All right. Well, we are coming up on the 40-minute mark, which is exactly where we needed to be. Closing thoughts on Iron Fury. What to tell the players, man? We'll start with Fitz.
Like you said just now, unit integrity. Make sure you're with your unit and you're sticking with them and you're maintaining communications. Pack light, pack just what you need to survive this, and go hard. Get ready. It's going to be a long run.
Snick.
My number one thing would be probably maintain communication, even down to the, I hate to use the term, but the private level. If we're going to add more meal to the sim, everybody in your squad needs to be together, needs to be on the same page, but you need to have that open line of communication. So everybody knows, right down to the simplest of private, that E1 guy, he knows what the mission is. He might be the only one that doesn't die. Mission's got to go forward, right?
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Maintain open lines of communications. Make sure all your radios are working. Water. Even though you're surrounded by it, I probably would not drink out of Car Lake. Yeah, fresh water, open lines of communication, and make sure you carry extra BBs because you guys that are going to be fighting the conventional fight, you're in the fight, and it will be a fight.
Shane,
and don't be afraid to get your feet wet because you're probably getting on a damn boat.
Ooh. Shane?
Well, I'm sure some people saw it, but there is a lot of trees there, and I'm sure our sniper's going to love that. So keep your head on a swivel for snipers out there. And, you know, stay fit, stay ready, eat, hydrate, and see everybody there.
Yep. I would just tell players, hey, don't miss this one. At a $135 ticket price, if you're not going to do the tier 1, $135 to be one of the first guys to put their feet on this AO and play one hell of a game. We haven't done Iron Fury since probably last time we did one was at GTI, which was the wrong place for it. This one is the right place. It is one that has nothing but opportunity. Don't miss it. You don't want to be hearing about it. You want to be one of the guys that said, I went to it. It is an Iron Series, which means it's going to push you a little bit. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Looking forward to seeing a lot of people there. There's still tickets available in every unit except for Soft Commando. We didn't even talk about the Lurse guys. We'll save that for another time. That's a whole other thing that some players are really going to dig. Only 28 players. But I would say don't miss this one. This is one not to miss. And then Mr. Recon said any events in April or May this year. Yeah, we're working on one in June in Texas. And then in April, we will be someplace else due to family commitments and the NRA show. May will definitely will be family, a lot of stuff with the family. So April and May, we just kind of family came first. So for a lot of us. So, okay, guys. Hope everybody's Christmas was great. And
no, I'm freezing my balls off. I'm up here in upstate New York. I just climbed off I was snowboarding until you said, hey, jump on this damn call. So I had to get down off a mountain. I think my testicles might still be up there. I'm not sure.
You don't need them anymore anyway.
Frozen to the ski lift.
all right, guys. Well, everybody, we'll talk to you guys later. We're out of here.
Peace.
Going out of my brain, I'm chasing after that fame. Gonna bring you down till I wear the crown. No stopping till you know my name. Ain't backing down for no